Do you think if I told him that, it would make him not like me? I'm aware that I'm treated much better than the other girls. Dr. Bianchi, do you think I'm being selfish about this?
Don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with feeling this way.
Brother! I heard you're going to the Balkans. Is that true, Jose?
I'll be back before you know it. It'll only be 6 months.
But no! They say the radiation is too dangerous.
Don't worry. You won't get lonely. Our brother will be here.
But he might as well not be. Sean never comes to my recitals. But you're always there. I get the feeling from Father and Mother and Sean that work is more important to them than anything that I do. All they ever do is leave me at home all by myself.
That's not true. They all love you more than you could ever imagine.
When I grow up, I'm going to join the military police. That way, you and I will always be...
Being an MP in this country isn't great. It's very dangerous. Just stick with being a harp soloist, Enrica, all right?
たった一つの思い貫く難しさの中で僕は守り抜いて見せたいのさかけがえのないもののために果たした約束疑問だらけの世の中これは見つからないままそれでも前に進むのはみたいな現実この手で変えられるものならたった一つの思い貫く難しさの中で僕は守り抜いて見せたいのさかけがえのないもののために見打っているどうに誓うよ燃え尽きるまで走り続けよう生き抜いて感じられる永遠の愛しさの中果たした約束
Just a dream. You awake, Jose? Why don't you go to bed if you're planning on sleeping? Yeah, I think I will. I'm meeting Mark Antonio tomorrow. Second Lieutenant Abido? You joined the MPs together, so how long's it been? 5 or 6 years. I haven't seen him since my discharge.
Whoa, Jose, you're getting kind of shaggy on top. So what do you do these days? PMC work?
No, not close. A buddy hooked me up with public welfare.
Seriously?
Is that strange?
Yeah. Oh. Guess that whole incident must have been pretty hard on you.
Yeah, it was. You wouldn't believe.
Everything I heard about that whole mess was crazy. It makes total sense to me why you and your brother quit the military police.
Enough about me. How are things with you? I assume you're still involved with the 1st Parachute Regiment?
Oh, no. I'm the leader of a patrol squad in Molise. We, handle kidnappings and smuggling.
You? Commanding a reconnaissance squad?
That funny? The only reason I wound up with the job is because you bailed on us. Listen, I had the easy life when you were head of the class, back in the days of our Balkans PKF.
How's your mother doing? I always loved her cooking. She made the best salsiccia.
She's dead.
Oh.
Year before last, she was in a demonstration. A tear gas round hit her on the head and killed her.
I'm sorry.
Who was it that played the harp? Wasn't it your sister?
It was. Of course.
Miss, you're all right. Come on, stand up. We gotta move.
Beatrice, head at your way. Slow it down.
Understood, sir.
Hey, B, smell it.
Yes, sir. Military-grade explosives.
So you're the one behind yesterday's bombing. Answer me or I'll make it hurt.
Not so fast, John. Why don't we go take a look at this idiot's place first? After all, he's a blue. A Padania, which means he's hiding some kind of evidence somewhere. Did you find it, B?
Yes.
Here.
Want to tell me how you acquired this? Only military men can get their hands on such high-grade explosives. Rico,
Do you want me to get started?
I want you to hurt him until he decides to talk.
Yes, sir.
I feel bad for him.
He's committed a serious offense. He can feel bad for himself behind bars.
She keeps that up in there, and they'll learn real quick that you can't question a dead guy.
Jose, is that the river Princess Anne swam in Roman Holiday?
It sure is.
Then is that the bridge where she fought using the guitar?
Yes, that's right.
Castel Sant'Angelo. Such a beautiful place.
I think Tosca also takes place in this castle.
Tosca?
Yeah, it's an opera. The last scene takes place by that big angel statue.
There's a Colonel Gagne, who's the supervisor of military logistics in Molise. I've heard the nasty rumors for some time now that he's been funneling weapons to the black market.
The Padania has been exceptionally well armed since the beginning of this year. Just last week, we uncovered a large amount of military-grade explosives.
We need proof. Find that, and the military police will be forced to approve of the Colonel's assassination.
Understood, sir.
At what point do you think this will ever end?
When will what end, Lieutenant Colonel?
The fighting, the madness. Do you remember the Balkans conflict? We fought under those gray skies together for 2 whole years, and against whom? At the time, we didn't have the slightest idea who we were fighting. Who was the enemy?
It was an ethnic conflict. We had to consider every armed person an enemy.
You're wrong. The adversary we fought was hate itself. So it makes perfect sense that we have nothing to show for all our efforts. We can only keep hate buried for so long at a time.
The end will come someday.
Do you actually believe that? I have to. What other choice do we have than to fight? You're right. That's all we can do. Or know to do.
Castel Sant'Angelo. That's right. Henrietta loves Princess Anne, so she thought it was the greatest thing ever. I believe Tosca better represent Sant'Angelo. The opera? Did you see it on video? I did. And I thought how Henrietta would cry if she heard the words. Like, I lived for my art. I lived for love. Wait, how's it go again? I lived for my art. I lived for love. I never did harm to a living soul. With a secret hand, I relieved as many misfortunes as I knew of. Always with true faith, my prayer rose to the holy shrines. Always with true faith, I gave flowers to the altar. I gave jewels for the Madonna's mantle. and I gave my song to the stars, to heaven, which smiled with more beauty. In the hour of grief, why, O Lord, why do you reward me thus?
Tosca takes place 200 years ago, while Rome is under a reign of terror. A singer named Tosca is the main character. As for the story, Tosca's lover Mario is arrested and sentenced to death for harboring a political criminal. So she goes to the head of the secret police, Baron Scarpia, to beg for Mario's life. That's the basic premise.
You seem to know a lot about it. Have you always liked the opera?
Not really. I wouldn't say I'm the type. I saw it with a friend of mine a long time ago.
All of the main characters in Tosca wind up dying by the end of it. The same thing happens in every Italian opera. Murder, illness, revenge, suicide. People just keep dying and dying and dying. And do you happen to know what that means, Beatrice?
I can't say I do.
It means Italians love tragedy. They're sentimental about everything, especially death. That's why our cities are filled with violence and vengeance. That's why every solution we devise is rooted in bloodshed.
I don't know, Bianchi. It's been a lot more exhausting than usual lately.
What has?
Henrietta and I can't talk about anything real. It's always just stars and myth, and the presents are just a formality. There's no true sincerity.
The poor kids starve for love. I don't think it's that big a deal, Jose. What's so wrong with fulfilling that need for her? What's the matter?
I was just thinking about my little sister. She spent a lot of her time at home all alone. The rest of us were too busy with whatever we were doing. I think we made her feel lonely.
And you wish you could take it back?
Yeah.
Be clever like a snake, but also be simple like a pigeon.
What's that?
It's an attitude you should use to survive this world.
Well, that's easier said than done, Doc.
There's nothing wrong with taking your time to think over delicate matters. It's a waste to feel shame for acting shrewdly. The answer's quite simple. Basically, just don't think about it so hard.
I'll try.
Sean, the army truck just made it through the pass.
I copy that, Pharaoh. Stop all subsequent vehicles you see.
Roger.
What's the plan? Do we capture them or not?
If they concede, we capture them. Even if we kill them all, the scene itself should be proof enough.
Kidding. Stop the truck!
Turn off the engine and stay inside the vehicle. Give us your names, ranks, and cargo.
Go, now!
No time, do it!
Take the shot.
Yes, sir. Jose, what did you think of my shooting? I hit the target every time, and did you?
Yeah.
Turn around. And one more time around. It's not too tight, is it?
No,
And in the shoulders?
feels fine. Henrietta, is that your dress? Yeah. Skirts are fun for a change. They make neat sounds when you move.
Marcantonio blamed the government for his mother's death and turned traitor. It was easy for him to assemble his team.
There are plenty like him out there. From then on, they worked for Colonel Gagne, smuggling weapons off duty. The Colonel's assassination has been approved. We'll do it next week. He'll be here to see an opera. I'll be there. Jose, I can do this one on my own if you want. No, I'll be fine. It's not like it's worth getting depressed over. None of this ever is. I guess this is my clever like a snake time, right?
There's nothing wrong with taking your time to think over delicate matters. It's a waste to feel shame for acting shrewdly.
Beautiful.
Josie.
Now, go on.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back. Did you two enjoy the opera?
We were working the whole time, so we didn't get to see very much.
Right, I should have known that. It's too bad, though. Tosca is quite a moving story.
I only got to see the first part. I have a question. Rico, were you moved? It kinda scared me how loud it was in there. Hey, guess what, Rico? In the theater, when Jose saw me, he said I was beautiful. That's great. The only thing Jean said to me was, it doesn't suit you.
I lived for my art. I lived for love.
So, tell me, what did you think of the opera, Enrica? Do you still think you're too young?
No, I had a really great time.
Excellent. I'm glad.
In fact, Jose, I think I'm going to be a harp soloist. Someday I'm going to play my harp in this very theater.
Of course you will. And I'll be there.
So when that day comes, you have to make sure you bring Mother, Father, and Sean with you to watch me, okay?
I will. It's a promise.